All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to talk about Keith one-time Thurman and what he had to say about Errol Spence Jr. and the fight that was supposed to take place a while ago. Keith is on one. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the welterweight division, talking about two of the best fighters in the division, the kingpin of the division, according to many people. Some people say not, but according to many, Errol Spence Jr., the IBF, the WBC, and the WBA champion, and then also Keith one-time Thurman, the former unified WBA and WBC champion. Keith Thurman had some information to share about a fight between him and Errol Spence Jr., which he says he still wants and is still pushing for, but makes some claims that I think are just like a little bit wild. But let's go through it. Before I get into that though, welcome back to the channel. If you're not a subscriber to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. If you're a longtime subscriber and supporter of the channel, thank you again for checking out another video. Make sure we get to chop it up together in the comments section. Love to go back and forth with you guys in the comments section. So make sure you guys leave a comment, hit a like before you leave the door. All right, so everybody knew for years that Errol Spence Jr. was trying to make a fight with Keith Thurman. And Keith Thurman had said multiple times that he was not interested in a fight with Errol Spence Jr. at the moment, that he was not that things like when he, as this young man, this is a good kid. He's a good kid. He develops more. We can do that down the road. All kind of very, very, very blatant statements about him not being willing to fight or not being interested in fighting Errol Spence Jr. at that time when he was the WBA champion and the WBC champion. Even when he had his belts relinquished, he had to relinquish the WBC, and he kept the WBA. That entire time he sounded to me and like a lot of other people like he did not want to fight Errol Spence Jr. However, now Keith Thurman is going through revisionist history and saying things like on the telecast that he had last night. And if you didn't see the fight, very good telecast. Adrian Bronner and Omar Figueroa were supposed to fight. Adrian Bronner pulls out of the fight. Unfortunately for Omar Figueroa, he has to fight Sergey Lipinets, which was a very, very tough matchup at 140. And he lost. But in that whole card, and the rest of the card was good too. However, Keith Thurman was doing the commentary during that entire show. And so what he said was, look, as far as Errol Spence Jr. the fight with Errol Spence Jr. I was never sent a contract by Errol Spence Jr. By them. They never offered me the fight. They never actually stepped forward and said, look, we want to position you to fight Errol Spence Jr. So he's saying that, he's getting a lot of pressure, or understanding that Errol is upset about the fact that Errol didn't get the fight. But now he's pretty much playing, don't blame me for the fact that the fight didn't happen. I was never sent a contract. I have never turned down a contract that was put in front of me. As long as the money is good and the fight is there, I'm willing to fight. I would have been willing to fight. Right now, how much truth is there to that? I'm not 100% convinced at all, because at the same time, he's saying he was never offered a contract. But why would they offer you a contract when you're in the media saying that you don't want the fight? doesn't make sense to me, right? Why would they actually do it? You're very, very vocal about the fact that you're trying to do other things instead of fighting Errol Spence Jr. Why would they go out of their way to write a contract, send it to you, and all of that, right? Clearly, a case of revisionist history and a case of him trying to clean it up later down the line. Now, what does that mean for me as a boxing fan? It means absolutely nothing. Makes me no difference whatsoever. Just being selfish about it. I know that I'm being selfish about it, but whatever. I'm a boxing fan. I really do want to see good fights. I do not know if this Errol Spence Terrence Crawford fight is going to get made. They have not. It's already, it's August 21st. When the mainstream media had come out with dates for the fight, they were mentioning dates like November 12th, November 19th, right? If that was the case, then the fight should have already been agreed to at this point in time, because those guys are going to have a 12-week training camp, and 12 weeks is 3 months, right? So no, it's not more than likely. 3 months from 3 days ago was the 19th. So now we're looking at, by the next weekend, you're going to be up there in Christmas time. Right. And you're not going to have, not Christmas time. You're going to be up there towards Thanksgiving. So at next time, you're going to wind up being in December. Right. So anyway, so that whole November time frame that people were saying they were looking at is now gone. So my question is, what's going to happen next? What fight are we going to actually get to see next for Errol Spence Jr., for Terrence Crawford? It seems like Keith Thurman is saying, look, they're keeping me on hold and not giving me a fight date because they're trying to figure out what's going on with the Errol Spence Jr. Terrence Crawford fight. So, and he wants to get back out. He's training. He wants to get back out this year. So, but, excuse me, but, they're not telling him anything either. So, as far as I'm concerned, look, man, whoever fights whoever, let's just announce the fight, man. Get to the point so we know what we won't know what October, November, and December is going to be with some of the best fighters in the world. And I think all three of those guys, Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford, and Keith Thurman, all fall into that same bucket, man, of some of the best fighters. Now I know Keith Thurman is not as highly regarded as he used to be. However, he really, to this date, really still only has one loss. Does not have a lot of losses. He has had fewer losses. He has fewer losses than Sean Porter did when Sean Porter fought. Terrence Crawford, fewer losses than Kell Brook has, right? Just one loss. He's still a top level guy. So I know Errol Spence Jr. says he doesn't want to fight him, would never fight him, means that he will never fight him. But okay, well, if you're not going to fight him, then who else are you going to fight, right? You're going to go up to 154 in a crowded 154 where none of the belts are on the line right now. Are available to you. And even if they were, they would be with Jermell Charlo, who says that they don't want to fight you. So, my whole thing with it is like, bygones be bygones as far as I'm concerned with all of that. Did they duck me? Did they not duck me stuff? And don't get me wrong, I do believe 100% that Keith Thurman ducked Errol Spence Jr. I'm just like, man, come on, at this point in time, just give us the fight, so we have something we can watch and be interested in. Because last night was a really good day of fights, and it was really, really refreshing to have with the AJ fight early in the morning, or in the early afternoon, and then the Showtime card. I didn't actually get to watch the ESPN card, but they had, every major network that puts on boxing had a fight card last night, and would really like to see that continue through the rest of the year. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.